Hi, folks. Let's see about system hacking. Okay. As a system hacking involves gaining an unauthorized access of an operating system. Either it can be Windows machine, it can be like a Linux machine, where attacker use some tools and techniques and malicious code to gain access. Okay. Let's see how the attacker is gaining access in our systems. Okay. So before that, where we first part we seen about footprinting and reconnaissance. Okay. And second part we seen about the scanning techniques. So where we will find out some information about an individual or an organizations, about their network infrastructures, about their IP address, right? And then what kind of tools and applications they are using. And second part, we use this kind of information, we scan their networks or an applications and the web part. So whether after gathering this sort of information and then we started the scanning, now we found out some kind of vulnerability maybe exiting in their networks, right? As an I can consider black hat hacker or an ethical hacker after doing this sort of techniques, you want to gain access into the systems. Okay. So here I'm going with some practical where you can deeply understand how the system hacking is happening. Okay. Here is I'm using my Linux machine as a here I'm using my Linux machine. Okay. So to gain access in my computer. So there is another part where I'm using a metasploitable. It's an web server, it will already having a valuable hub. Okay. Let me open it and show you how it works. What kind of I can do from this. Okay. So I have gotten access of my web server. So here is my Linux machine. So let me open my terminal. Okay. So in terminal part, so I have already information about target, right? So that's how we can start a system hacking. Let's see how I'm getting access. So what kind of techniques I'm using. So how I'll find out what is a port is availability is there. This can try process in a simple way. Okay. To identify how many devices has been connected in my network. Okay. For example, you can consider in a sniffing part we use on a public Wi-Fi where attacker can able to find out how many devices has been connected in my network. So what kind of servers is available in my network, right? Let me use that same technique to find out the net discover part to identify my system networks. Here I'm using a sudo net discover. It will send some packages where we can able to identify what kind of device has been connected in our network. Okay. As you can able to see, TP-Link is my router, and then 101 is my Windows Machine IP address, and 1010 is my Metasploitable Vulnerable Hub IP address. Okay. So if I have some doubt, I can able to check with if config. So what is an if config? So if configs to help to find out what is our IP address of our machine. In Linux machine, we use if config. In a Windows machine, how we can able to find out my Windows machine IP address? So CMD, okay. So here I have to use IP config. So it is a two difference between IF and IP config. As Windows can, I mean, as Linux machine can able to identify the bash commands. But in a Windows machine, it cannot able to identify the bash commands. So this is the part we are using a IP and IF config. So here I can able to confirm it. This is my IP address which has been connected as of now is a 101 as a gateway. 101 is my Windows machine IP address. Let me check whether it is the same IP address. Yep. 101 is my IP address. 102 is my metasploitable IP address. Here I want to use my scanning techniques. Why I have to use my scanning techniques? For example, uh, company may be updating their each and every day their network securities, this kind of things. So we cannot able to consider once if we complete the scanning part, we can directly go into the attacking part. It's not work like that. Okay. So I have to use the sudo where the sudo will be helping to gain a root access, and then nmap which we know about the network scanning tool which involves to scan the networks part. Okay, let's see about how it works. Here I'm using an nmap. So let's see about first an nmap, how an nmap will work. As an nmap you can open it, you can able to do the different scanning part in my network. Okay, you can able to see there is a so many flag which I'm using to gather the information about the target. Here for the host, like what is host means. Let me consider the host having a some device has been connected in my IoT device. Okay, the IoT device which I'm mentioning is my router. In this router, I can able to perform some tasks. Okay, for example, here is a list of scanning techniques. I can use a ping scan. I can use a port scanning. I can use a DNS scanning. I can use a OS detection. I can find out where is host is reaching there. What is a host MAC address? This entire thing I can find out from the host discovery. As in a second part, and I mean scanning techniques, which is involving some kind of TCP headers. Okay, in TCP headers, it will be giving me the exact information about a target. Okay, so let me directly take you to there how I can able to find the informations. Okay, clear sudo nmap. I'm using a flag here as a aggressive flag and the server scan. So why I'm using a server scan, I want to know that what is service is running in my machine. Okay. I want to know that what is the service is running in my machine. Then only I can able to start my attacks. Here I'm using my IP address. So nmap my IP address. Oh, sorry. So 10101. Okay. 192. Let me install the file. 192.168.10. Okay. So when I give this command, it will be start scanning the entire of their web servers or an application. I will get a complete information. Okay. Let me show you the. It will take some time to complete it. It's almost done. Let me see. Okay. So you can able to see I got some very good information about that target. Here, there is a open port is of FTP port and the service numbers. So FTP is a status of ALC encryptions. You can able to directly log in. It is anonymous login where I can use anonymous login access. And then SSH port, VPN port is open. So what kind of service is available? So let's see how can I gain a remote access. The main thing about the system hacking is we want to gain a remote access, right? Where I can able to find out 133.9 port is open and 145.93 port has been open. In this both ports, we can able to gain a remote access where I can able to view the entire systematic informations and then remote. I mean, I can take the screen access too. Okay, let's see how I'm doing. So using a metasploitable framework. So what is a metasploit? So in metasploit is I consider you can able to know that let me open the Metasploit. To access a Metasploit, we have to use a command called MSF console. Sorry. So if accessing this command, I can able to gain a, let's start. Okay. Okay. Here is my Metasploit. So what is the purpose of a Metasploit? The Metasploit is a open source web, I mean, sorry, open source penetration testing tool where it is work for an creating exploitations, payloads, auxiliaries, encodes, and post exploitations. Okay, so the company has been developed by Rapid7. Who's a Rapid7? Let me open the tab. So let's see how we can able to gain access of this metasploitable Linux server. Okay, so as I told you, well, we doing a network scanning part. We found out there's so many information, how many port has been opened, the entire process, right? So here found out something interesting about that 192.138 and then this 444 TCP access, whereas the net BIOS has been opened. Okay. So what is a net bias? How we can able to gain this Samba? Okay, it's there is a vulnerability exiting. Okay, if 133 port is open and 444 port has been open, where we can able to gain a remote shell access. Okay, where directly we can able to gain access of a machine. We don't want to put any applications in their machines. Okay, we don't want to put their any malware into their machines. Directly, we can able to send a buffering their networks. We can able to gain access. Let's see how it works. Okay, so for that, I want to use a metasploitable. Okay, so what is a metasploit? So metasploit is a penetration and web vulnerability analyzing tool where you can able to perform a different exploitation attacks to gain a systematic access. Okay, so here we can able to see it have like a for 2437 expectations, 135 auxiliaries and post expectations, payloads. Okay, so each will doing some different performance. So if you want to know more about it, okay, you can use this link to find out how it works, what kind of information I can gather from there. Okay, so it will work in as ethical hacking part also and as well as offensive part also. Okay. So let's see how I can able to create a malware or an applications or that buffering in the network, how I'm gaining access. Okay. Let's see how it works. For that, I'm gonna use search exploitations to gain access. I'm gonna search it. SCARC search use slash multi sorry use exploit. Okay. So I want to mention the name of once again exploit slash multi multi slash samba slash user 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 map script. Script. I want to use this module to gain access. Okay, so I just put result. Okay, sorry, I want to use it in a proper way. Uh, search exploit. Okay. So here I can able to see there is around a 60, 135. Okay. Expectation is there. So let me find out which is a good one for my Linux machine. So where I see 130, 139 and then 144 port has been open. So for that purpose, I'm going to use a Samba. Okay. To search a Samba expectations, I want to use SEA search SAMBA Samba. Okay. So here only we will get a Samba expectations where I can able to gain a remote expectations. So let's see which is one will be good for my. So it is will be creating each and every will be saying which is work for which things. Okay, you can able to see the descriptions. What is a rank, whether I will gain access or can't able to gain access. It will work with the Windows machine or Linux machine. We can able to see this entire process. Okay. So here I'm gonna use as a injection part as a expectations. One, two, three, user script. Okay. So here I'm going to use a user script. For that, I want to use a command called use 15. Okay. Once if I done this, I can able to see I got something like in a red module. What does this user thinks I can able to send the buffer. Okay. This is a exploitation starting. So show options. If I give the show options, I can able to see what kind of information I need to gain access. Here I only need the target host address. I mean target's IP address. Okay, where I can find the target's IP address, where we did a network scanning part and got some information about the target. So this is the target IP address, right? Trace route. This is my target IP address. In last, I can able to see this is the target IP address where I can able to gain a access of there. Okay. So I'm not gonna use my tab. To set up this, I wanna use a command called set hard host. So hard host is a target host. Okay, the target host, whichever our target is, that person's IP address. I wanna set this IP address. So I'm giving a set target host. Oh, sorry. Set hard host and the IP address 192.168.1010. Okay. So this is my target IP address. It has been set. Okay. So let me give a show command. So anything I need, no, my IP address is set, and then ROS has been set, port also set. Okay. So let's just run whether I'm gaining access or not. Okay. So I gave the run. So it will starting an attack. Okay. It will send some buffer directly to the my metasploitable machine where I will gain a access. You can able to see one session has been opened where I got a access of it. So here I have to give the control plus Z to background the sessions. Okay. Why want to background my sessions? Then only I can able to gain a reverse access of it. What is a reverse action? The cell access. Okay. Let's see who am I. Okay. I'm giving ID. I can able to see I was into the machine. So let's see what is my username. What is my get to ID. Okay. I'm gonna give a get equal to 0. Okay. To gain a root access. This is the command we are going to give for a root access. And then GID equal to 0. Root permissions. Enter. Okay. So session has been closed. Let me run it again. Okay. Let me give my name, whether I was gain as a normal user or as a user. It's a name. Its name came as a Linux because the this is a Linux metasploitable, right? So it is a Linux machine. Let's see about how I'm gaining its access. PW, let me know which directory I was. So we use a PW2 where I was into the root access. So now I can able to gain access into the root. So let me use some command python -c and import pty comma pty dot spam. Okay. And then bracket slash bin. Okay. And slash bash and close bracket and comma. Okay. You can able to see I was get into their root access, right? I can able to gain the entire system informations. The exact information I can also do it from here without acknowledgement of a computer. 1 minute. The machine has been got hacked. Let's see whether I'm getting a same. Okay, let me go to the root directory. CD slash ls. You can able to see the exact same what is their folders, what is their directory. I can able to see this entire thing in my Linux machine where I got a root permission. You can able to see I got a root permissions. so I can modify or see the data of the systems. Let me go to the temp directly.